Hi guys, welcome back to Simproved, Fry speaking here, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are going to recreate and rebuild the Addams Family house in The Sims 4. It's a very highly requested build from you guys. Perfect for Spooktober, where we do horror builds all October long. And yeah, it will be absolutely amazing and highly decorated, and I hope that you like it. So without further ado, let's get started. So here we are in Forgotten Hollow, which is the world from the Vampires gameplay pack, and it's a spooky world, so I thought the Addams Family would fit right in, and we definitely have to build here. So if you are kind of weirded out that it looks a little bit more grayish and foggy, that's because of this world in The Sims 4 is more of a, you know, there's not much sunshine because it's the vampire world. And yeah, I especially chose, of course, the biggest lot that we have there, which is the one that the main vampire actually lives in. I kicked him out and I thought the Addams Family is moving in, so make way. And I tried to rebuild the 90s movie house. So for those who don't know, the Addams Family is like a pop culture horror family. They love the macabre and grotesque. They're basically old money, like some kind of aristocrats. Nobody knows where all the money comes from, but they are kind of very famous in, you know, like I would say that they brought me into horror maybe as a kid. So these are child-friendly. And I did, of course, some research because I wanted to know, hey, what does the Addams Family actually look like? So the Addams Family is actually based on a comic strip that was in the New Yorker back in 1938 by Charles Addams, I guess is his name. So yeah, he has the same name as the family that he created. And since then, there have been multiple series and movies, you know, depicting the Addams Family. And with all these kind of, you know, TV and movie references that we had, the house changes a lot. Like, there is no fixed house for the Addams Family. So I personally chose the 90s movie exterior, because that is basically the movie that made me like super fall in love with the Addams Family when I was a kid. So this is basically the exterior layout a little bit like the one in the 90s movie. And I made it a little bit more old English mansion. So we will use, instead of the American one, which is built probably exterior-wise built out of wood and panels and stuff like that, I wanted to have like old English mansion kind of feel. So the layout is the same. I changed, of course, a bit because it's The Sims 4, and I had some issues, of course, coming up with lots and lots of, you know, run-ins with the tiles and the proportions that we have in The Sims, since The Sims 4 build mode is, of course, a little bit more limited. And I wanted it to be playable as a family house. So for those who aren't into horror, maybe you can recolor everything. Would be kind of a lot of work because, of course, I chose lots of blacks and reds and stuff. But yeah, it's basically a family house with 5 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms, a huge living room, a foyer, an office, a dining room, kitchen, 2 greenhouses, kind of, you know, there's lots and lots of stuff going on. So I'm pretty sure that you're gonna love it. It's absolutely playable in The Sims 4. And I chose especially this house because for me, that is, for me, myself, it was like the more iconic layout of the Addams Family house. Lots of other SimTubers have done the Addams Family house so far. I think there are 2 that I've, like, by research, found that did this layout. And, well, I just thought this is also a reason why I go with more English mansion look. So we will have gargoyles, we will have bricks, we will have ornamented, you know, stone statues and, you know, that kind of stuff. It will look really grand, really good, in my opinion. One of the bigger old-fashioned mansions that I really like. And especially I wanted to make it look a little bit more cartoony, so sometimes I will use weird window placements, you know, trying to elongate the whole house. I also wanted to add something to it because in the 90s movie reference video, or not video, the movie, sorry, YouTuber saying video all the time. But basically, this house was just built as a stage, like a front stage somewhere. So this is not a real existing house. They filmed that in. And therefore, I only had like a front view, and I think they also built like some kind of model so they could put it like in the way behind, so it looks like on top of a hill, which is probably like as big as a dollhouse or something. Which they do in the movies as well. And then, like, in lots of other movies, they basically had a whole soundstage where they will build the whole interior, so that was built on a stage. So the interior doesn't make no sense. And therefore, I chose, since we have so many other houses, and it's kind of like a huge cluster F of houses and interior design, and it changes a lot. It doesn't seem to be that important for the Addams Family, like, production design-wise, that there has to be something special that has to look that and that way in the interior design. So I thought, okay, I have a lot of freedom in interior design, and also with the back of the house, because you can't really see that a lot. I especially rewatched the first 90s movie. I think it was from 91, called The Addams Family. So if you want to rewatch that, I think you can, for Halloween, basically, it's one of the better, in my opinion, family horror movies, whatever. Family-friendly horror movies. That is a thing. And, basically that's what The Addams Family is all about. Like, they are kind of quirky. Also, now in theaters is The Addams Family animation movie, which I also watched, by the way. I didn't know that I wanted to do The Addams Family house then, but now I want to do it even more. And also in the animated series, the house is different and is basically like an asylum, I think. They move in an like old abandoned asylum. But yeah, we have some tropes in the Addams Family house that I definitely put in here as well. So there are like some things that they occasionally, like in all movies and also in the old 60s series that I also watched as a kid, have, and I wanted to have that here as well. So as a reference, so to speak, that you can see in the interior design as well, like, oh, this is, yeah, that's like an Addams Family house. So here we are in the back of the house, and it was actually quite interesting because I had like total freedom about how the back looks like. I wanted to go with still like the weird tower kind of thing, lots of very high dormers. This is also why I didn't choose like the dormers that we have in game, because I really wanted it to give this cartoon look with high dormers that stretch about the whole mansard roof. And yeah, I chose to build them just myself. So this is like a 2-story high house in The Sims. So if you play with that, it will have 2 stories where all of the rooms are. I think that's also okay in my opinion, because everything over 2 really functional floors is mostly a lot to load for your game. Also, player-wise, I hate it because Sims, they take sometimes ages. I love it that the spellcasters and I think also the vampires can teleport, kinda, that the vampires can be a mist or like a bat or something and then teleport somewhere, basically. And it's the same with the spellcasters. It's just named differently. But yeah, that definitely, I love that, because then they don't walk like ages from West Wing to the East Wing. I just hate that the Sims are so slow sometimes. But yeah, I wanted to have like a nicely shaped and sized house, so it's playable, definitely. So for those who are into horror or darker, or even want to have like a cool old-fashioned old money kind of vampire house or evil wizard house, this is perfect as well. So this is not, by all means, this is not like just Addams Family, but of course this is inspired by the Addams Family. So I really, really enjoyed that and doing this, and especially I liked all of the little details that I can do on these kind of more Victorian, old-timey houses, because yeah, we can use so many like columns and other friezes and spandrels and ornaments on the house itself. Like, you can really overboard it with that. And it looks amazing. I really like that style. I started my YouTube channel like only wanted to do modern builds, and now I don't do them as much as I expected it would be like 5 years ago when I started this YouTube channel. So this is interesting. So definitely some of the Sims 4 object made me kind of change my mind and do a lot of these old-fashioned classical, neoclassical buildings as well, which is insane kind of when I think about it. But yeah, this is basically like any other neoclassical house or mansion, just with a darker palette definitely. And yeah, of course we have like lots of dried out trees, creepy trees. So I basically only used the vampire bushes and foliage and trees that we got with that pack, because these are like the only creepy ones that we have in the game, which is kind of a shame. I really thought that they would put in at least one kind of plant in the spellcast, like the Realm of Magic one. And then of course we will put in lots of kind of tombstones, because we all know the Addams Family house is like surrounded by a cemetery basically. It's yeah, lots of dead relatives that also sometimes will dig up during the game. They call Wake the Dead. And yeah, they are kind of like a very quirky, I really like that. I really like that whole family, and I really like how it turned out, and I hope that you're gonna like it too. Here we are in the interior design. So I did the whole layout beforehand, because I just like, in these huge houses it kind of makes sense. So I usually start like with one room that I definitely need to have, and this was this living room, because it's over 2 stories big or high or tall, whatever. Because I wanted to have like a fireplace in the middle as a center point with like a huge painting over it, and then I wanted to have the stairs like in an L-shaped going around that lovely fireplace, and I just thought it looks really, really grand. And then all of the depictions of the Addams Family, I haven't seen all of them. I think I skipped some, maybe one series or so, but I looked into everything. They have a huge grand staircase, so that's like a thing they always have, and this is why we have that here as well. So I did a living room with tons and tons of pictures, like old-timey portraits of their weird relatives, so to speak, and you know, we go with blacks and reds a lot here in the whole interior design. Then of course they have a dining room, which is next to the kitchen, and I just thought it makes more sense to have in red as well, because I didn't want to go with all black. Kind of for me was like a lazy thing to do, to just go with black and gray all the time. I really want to have some pops of color. Also, it kind of fits more of the whole, you know, the Sims comic style. And for those who don't know, by the way, the whole family consists of Morticia Addams as she's basically the head, so it's also like a more feminist kind of family. She definitely is the head of the family. Then her husband Gomez, and they have 2 kids, Wednesday and Pugsley, and Uncle Fester, like Gomez's brother, is also living there, and Grandmama. I'm not sure if Grandmama is like the mother of Gomez or Morticia, I'm not sure. And then in the second 90s movie, they also have a baby called Pooh-Bird. So yeah, weird names. And they also have a butler called Lurch, which frequently plays the organ or some kind of, you know, piano thing. So we have an organ there as well. And then they have The Thing it's called in English. It's totally called different in German, by the way. But yeah, The Thing is basically a little chopped off hand, disembodied hand that is also like their butler kind of. Yeah, you know, it brings stuff from A to B. So we will have some references of it. No, not it, God, The Thing in this house as well. So the kitchen is of course very old-timey as well. I go with the counters from the Vampire Pack and well, the cabinets of the Vampire Pack and the Realm of Magic counters. So I kind of use these 2 a lot. Like I said, if you have vampires, you definitely need Realm of Magic, because it's kind of like, you know, they both add so much to each other. So if you are into quirky kind of stuff in The Sims, definitely Realm of Magic and vampires is like the best combo that you would ever get. I hope that they will do like, I think you can do bundles now where you can have like up to 3 packs in one bundle and then buy it like for a cheaper price. And I think you can also do your bundles yourself, which I really like. And yeah, therefore I would always say go definitely with vampires and Realm of Magic. They're kind of go so well together, and especially now for Halloween, this is like the perfect maybe gift for someone who don't have these 2 packs. But yeah, this is just, you know, realm of magic, vampires, like, preach it, guys. This is just, it has to be. And here we are in an office, for example. Sorry, I always kind of lose track of the video. But yeah, this is an office for Gomez, because we can see in some of the 90s movies that he handles the money and stuff. And there's like basically a huge library, and behind the books there's like a secret passage to the vault. But yeah, I wanted to kind of channel that as well. Now we are upstairs already with all of the bedrooms. I'm not sure if you can see all of the bathrooms. I definitely did 2 downstairs and 2 upstairs. So bathrooms confirmed, guys. Don't write in the comments again that I don't have bathrooms. But yeah, this is the Morticia, so the parents' bedroom. Morticia and Gomez live there. I chose red wallpaper because it looks so stunning. And Morticia and Gomez have like such a sexual kind of relationship. Like they are always almost onto each other and are making out, you know, like in a family-friendly way. But they are very not emotional, you know, like they are very physical with each other, and they say a lot to each other that they love each other. You know, it's kind of, yeah, very out there. For me as a German, it's very out there. But yeah, they have a very out there relationship, so I wanted to make it look a little bit more romantic and kind of lustful. And here we are in the bedroom of Grandmama, who's also basically cooking for the whole family, I think, and does like potions. She kind of looks like an old witch, you know, like long white hair and like a little, you know, like, yeah, this is basically her. So I went with, she also has like a fireplace where she can brew some potions, maybe, I thought. And yeah, so one of the kids is called Pugsley, and he is very into explosive things like bombs and stuff like that. They basically all have their fair share of hobbies, so to speak. So you can say that Pugsley is definitely into explosives. So I started to put these Strangerville, I don't know what these are, but canisters. I just thought maybe these are like exploding barrels, you know, that you know from all ego shooter games in this world. And yeah, he's basically always tinkering about his next bomb and explosive kind of thing. Also, he's kind of messy, so we put in lots and lots of cracks and little spots everywhere on the walls, so it looks kind of more not as nice and kept up like the other rooms. And here is Wednesday Addams' room. We chose like a deep purple here because I just thought she's like one of the favorites of lots and lots of people, Wednesday Addams. I don't know why, especially. I always, as a kid, loved Morticia more. But definitely Wednesday is, yeah, she's like a tiny little psychopath, I guess. I definitely love her. I mean, as a small child or like as a girl, I was, of course, kind of more relating to Wednesday since she had like the same age. And since she's like the older one, she gets like the bigger bad. And here we go with the bedroom of Uncle Fester, who is basically just, I don't know, he's a maniac, damn. Like, he is also tinkering a lot, so I thought we will put lots of the Strangerville stuff there as well, like the chemistry set, some barrels, you know, some more technical equipment, so he tinkers a lot with stuff, I guess. So I wanted to have this as well. And also his whole room is very messy and will have lots and lots of cracks and, you know, little freckles or something like that as well. And downstairs we had these 2 green rooms, basically. One is depicted in the front of the original rebuilt house for the movies. And yeah, I put in lots of the what's it called? The plasma plants or trees. So you can have like plasma plants and these little Venus kind of fly trap things. And I thought these 2 look very creepy, so we definitely need to have them in both of the green rooms. And upstairs, I totally forgot, but there's of course a nursery for puberts. So this is a cute little nursery where I went with a little bit more lighter colors. I just thought it's gonna be a little bit more lighter, lots of armchairs where Morticia can sit in and maybe, you know, swoon her little baby. And here we are in the layout, guys. So if you want to rebuild this, I put the grid on so you can see how you can rebuild this and have a little floor plan. This is downstairs. And now upstairs you can see there's a huge gallery over the living room, so you can look down from the living room, from the gallery into the living room. It looks really beautiful. And yeah, so here we go into the video tour as always, guys. And it looks absolutely stunning. Like, look at the location, like in Forgotten Hollow, it looks absolutely amazing, and it has to be in Forgotten Hollow. So I really love how how it fits into this whole world. This old-timey mansion with lots and lots of decoration. We have some gargoyles and some werewolves on the front. And also we have some of the Realm of Magic windows and the Strangerville windows. I think also some are from Get Famous. But yeah, like all these old-timey kind of looking windows were all fair game in my opinion. And I really like how it turned out. And it's really, really highly cluttered and detailed again. It looks very lived in when you play with it as well, and I really wanted it to be the most decorated and like thought out version on YouTube, basically. I'm not saying that this is the best. Definitely someone maybe can watch all the movies and kind of recreate every single room, but for me it was like so much more easier to go with my own kind of production design behind it. And this is basically how my Addams family in The Sims 4 would live like. I know that there's sometimes the idea that they live in a very run-down house, like with lots of cobwebs and stuff, but for me, I never saw that because they're old money, they have Lurch, they have grandmama, nobody's cleaning. I think that the Addams family wouldn't be bothered with that kind of stuff, obviously, but I just thought I personally wanted it to be possible to have it for every kind of Sim family as well, and therefore the cobwebs were maybe a little bit too much. Also, just imagine me putting cobwebs everywhere, because then your graphics card will thank me for not doing that, because I already did that, like in another vampire build. And oh boy, even I had some troubles playing with it. But yeah, I really like how it turned out and how many different rooms there are, and that there are so many different bedrooms upstairs, and just downstairs is one of my favorites. Like in general, the whole downstairs, the office, the kitchen, dining room, especially of course the living room. It's just, I love it. I wouldn't personally, you know, this is definitely not my kind of interior design personally, but as like a themed party, that would be amazing there. Just imagine that this would be a thing. Wow. But yeah, the living room and the gallery looks especially grand because it has this high ceiling. And I just love that in like old houses where I can do that. And yeah, I just thought that it's like more, gives you more like old money, really old building, you know, with these high ceilings all the time. And I really like that I could implement like kind of my ideas about who's sleeping in the bedrooms and how to make it look like these people would, you know, sleep there. Also, we have some kind of fun activities in the green rooms and in the bedrooms, so your Sims can do stuff there as well than just live. And yeah, I really like how it turned out, especially Pugsley's room with all of the explosives and still some cute little plush toys. You know, Wednesday is a little bit more toned down because she's dead inside, like she always says. And yeah, I really like that, and I hope you like it too, guys. This is already the end of the video, so please make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, or a thumbs down if you didn't like that build. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye bye!